Welcome to the color mixing video. For this class, we're going to be using one bowl to mix all of our colors. So to start, I mixed this orange icing by using the Ann Clark pumpkin orange, hence what we're doing today. And then I added a little bit of brown just to mellow it out a little bit. We are using one consistency, which is our hybrid consistency. As you can see, it's a very thick flood. It will not settle on its own. It does require a little bit of manipulation. But the reason why I chose this consistency for our class today is because we're going to be outlining a lot and we're going to be only flooding small sections of a cookie. We're going to want that puffiness and that definition that hybrid consistency icing gives us. So once you bag up that first color of icing, you're going to leave some residual icing in the bowl. The amount of icing that you mix up today is going to be completely up to you. If you are doing multiple cookies, obviously you will need more icing than I'm mixing up, but you'll be able to see how I'm building on the depth of color here by leaving some of the previous icing in that bowl. I often will pull previously mixed icing from my freezer, which is what I did here with the brown, and then add additional either fresh icing from my mixing bowl or gel color in order to create the shade that I'm looking for. You definitely don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing here, but it's just meant to show you as a demonstration, an example of how I would mix different colors. So here I'm going for a more like burnt orange than that initial orange I mixed up. And just as a comparison, you can see it's obviously much darker, has much more of a brown kind of burnt look to it. And I think this is a super pretty fall color that will contrast well once it's dry. So next up, again, I'm leaving some residual icing in the bowl and I'm going to add some red. So I still want it to appear orange, but I want it to have a little bit more of a red hue. Ended up adding in some brown and then later on some white to lighten it up a bit. You'll see in this video that I am not adding any water or powdered sugar to my icing, but that is because it just so happened that the main icings that I was already working with were similar to a hybrid consistency, or the combination of icings I was using was able to create a hybrid consistency icing. If you are working from fresh royal icing, you'll need to add water. In addition to this resource, I also included my Mastering Royal Icing Consistencies video tutorial, which will actually walk you through the process of taking fresh royal icing from the mixing bowl and then diluting it to create the 4 different consistencies. Refer to that video, specifically the section where I cover the hybrid consistency icing, in order to really get a deep understanding of how this consistency should look and feel. Lastly, I am going to create a black icing. Now, this icing is the only icing in the bunch that I will ask that you make a little bit thicker. So this one should be similar to an outline or toothpaste consistency because this is what we're going to use to create our spooky pumpkin faces and our pumpkin stems. So this icing does not need to settle quickly. It needs to hold its shape when piped, and you're going to mix it right here in the mixing bowl that you've used this whole time. I know it will seem like it looks messy, but I promise you the black will overtake any of those leftover colors that we used before, and there you have it, your 4 colors. Again, it's completely fine if yours look different than mine. I want you to really explore and not worry too much about how these colors should look. Just embrace your individuality, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.